Get ready for phase 2, the hoover. They'll show up again, but this time with softness. They'll text something like, "You were right about everything. I've started therapy. I can't stop thinking about you. You were the only one who ever really knew me." And it will be tempting because these are the words that you wish they would have said when you were still together. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I have decided to do a talk on how a narcissist might react when you leave. So pay attention, because you might just be the next one walking out that door. And for others, if you've ever left a narcissist, you probably already know how big that decision feels. Because it's not just about walking away from someone else, it's about walking away from a version of yourself. The version who bent, explained, hoped, tolerated, and twisted in 1,000 directions to try to make it work. But when you finally leave, something changes, not just inside you, but inside them. And the way that a narcissist reacts when you leave is never simple, and it is rarely quiet. And it reveals a truth that you might have been trying to not see all along in your busyness. So that's what we're diving into today, because once you understand the patterns, once you see why they respond the way that they do, you're less likely to take the bait, question your sanity, or go back just to calm the storm. So on that note, let's take a look. Why they react so strongly. So first things first, why the big reaction? Why do some people, when you walk away, go into a full-blown panic, anger, blame, or weirdly fast moving on? To a narcissist, your role in their life was never about connection. It was about control. I'm going to keep repeating that in all my videos till you get it. You were never really seen as a separate, sovereign human being with your own needs and feelings. You were an extension of them, a tool, a mirror. And when you decided to leave, or when you decide to leave, you're not just ending a relationship, you're threatening their sense of identity. And to the narcissist, it feels like you don't admire me anymore. You're not emotionally available to manage my feelings. You're exposing me by rejecting me. It's not the pain of losing you. It's the pain of feeling discarded or unimportant. And narcissists will do anything to escape that feeling. So how do they react first? You might already know this one, because the first reaction is usually the loudest. Some narcissists explode, rage, threats, accusations. "You're abandoning me like everyone else. You'll regret this. I always knew you'd betray me." And you might even hear them cycle rapidly, first begging, then accusing, then crying, then calling you cold or manipulative. It's emotional whiplash. And others, they go cold, not a word, not a message, just a wall. You leave, and instead of a fight, there's nothing. And that can feel like a painful rejection. This isn't calm, it's calculated. It's a silent form of punishment. They want you to wonder, did I ever matter to them? And most of the time, that's how you'll feel. It's like a flashback from childhood. That's silent, it's strategic. They're not done. They're just repositioning. And if you've been preparing for this moment, if they sensed it was coming, they might pretend like they discarded you, even though it was your decision. And why? Because in their world, losing power equals losing face. And that's unbearable. Let's bring this into real life for a moment. Imagine this. You finally ended things. You were respectful. You didn't shout, you didn't slam doors, you just said, "I'm done." And what happens? They text you something like, "I just want you to be happy. No hard feelings." It sounds mature, right? Almost too mature. But 3 days later, mutual friends are getting odd messages about you. Your name is coming up in twisted ways, and their new social media posts all thinly veiled inspirational quotes that make you sound ungrateful, unstable, or unkind. And this is what we call covert retaliation. They're not confronting you directly. They're trying to control the narrative without appearing bitter. And these nice narcissists can be the hardest to spot and the hardest to heal from, because the mask is so convincing, because they've had the mask in front of you. Now, if you don't bite during the initial reaction, get ready for phase 2, the hoover. They'll show up again, but this time with softness. They'll text something like, "You were right about everything. I've started therapy. I can't stop thinking about you. You were the only one who ever really knew me." And it will be tempting, because these are the words that you wish they would have said when you were still together. But the thing is it's not real accountability. It's emotional bait. They're not doing this to repair. They're doing this to see if they still have power over you. And if you return, even just to talk, they feel that they're back in control. And you're going to notice the shift almost immediately. The guilt will return, the gaslighting, the subtle digs, the silence when you express a need, because they never meant to change. They meant to win. As for you, what's really happening to you inside during this phase? You're alone. You're doubting yourself. You might be feeling or questioning, was I too harsh? They're hurting too. Maybe I should check in. Maybe I could have said it differently. They did say that they were working on themselves. And that's the inner conflict, the leftover programming from being emotionally conditioned by them over time. But these feelings are temporary, as long as you don't go back. The clarity that you're searching for, it doesn't come from reconnecting with them. It comes from reconnecting with yourself. Let's look at that smear campaign and the role reversal. What if you don't respond? That's when the narcissist usually flips the script. Now suddenly, you are the narcissist. You are the abuser. You are the one who never cared. They tell mutual friend stories where they conveniently leave out everything that they did. They frame themselves as heartbroken but stoic, trying to move on. They just wore a different mask. They might even copy things that you used to say. Suddenly they're talking about trauma healing, self-awareness, therapy, all the things that they dismissed when you brought them up. It's all for show. We might have wardrobes of shoes and clothes, but they have wardrobes of masks. This mask, this new mask that they're wearing now, is a repackaging of self to protect their image and control the fallout. And if they sense that people believe you instead, they will try to ruin your credibility with subtle or not so subtle attacks. But remember this, if they really had peace, they wouldn't need an audience, right? This might be the most painful part. You finally break free, and a week later, they're in a new relationship. Soulmate posts, pet names, romantic getaways. It feels like your heart got stepped on all over again. Someone just put a dagger through your heart. But here's what you need to know. They didn't move on. They replaced. That's the difference. Narcissists, they don't end relationships. They transition between supply. They might even have already started grooming this new person before you left. And now they're using them as a prop. It's not about love. It's about winning. And if they know you're watching, they're going to turn up the volume even more. But it won't last, because what they're showing isn't real connection. It's emotional theater. And when the curtain falls, that cycle will repeat again. Now let's talk about you again, because this part doesn't get enough space. After you leave, even if you know it was the right choice, you might feel empty, guilty, angry, and isolated or like you lost your sense of self, because there's still a mess to clean up after the party. So you're going to have what we call narcissistic withdrawal. Your nervous system has been running on high alert for so long. A lot of it is chemical, it's hormones, it's addictions. And now that the noise is gone, it feels like the silence replaced peace. You might even miss them. But that doesn't mean that you were wrong to leave here. It just means that you're human. And it's natural to go through this. You cared. And you were conditioned to chase connection through chaos. Healing takes time. But with each boundary that you keep, that noise gets quieter. And your voice gets louder. So here's what I want you to remember. How they react when you leave isn't about love. It's about control. Their rage is not about grief. Their silence isn't peace. Their rebound is not healing. And their kindness isn't clarity. And you didn't leave because you stopped loving them. You left because you started remembering how to love yourself. Little by little. You don't have to take the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Who was the author of that one? Anyway, their reaction doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you broke the cycle. So block the hoover. Ignore the performance. Don't look for peace in the mouth of the person who taught you war. You are not hard to love. You were just expected to survive on crumbs. But not anymore. You finally see the light of day. And you're now on your way to freedom. On your way out the door. A final note here though. If you think that the narcissist in your life could be dangerous, please make sure to be safe in the leaving. If you have to go to a shelter for a while, do that. It might not feel like much fun, but it's temporary. Keep reminding yourself that you matter. Your life matters. So I am wishing you well, and we shall see you in the next video. Hopefully anyway. Bye for now.